The Caligula Murders, Part 10. The days that followed were a blur of unease and escalating dread. The official search for the missing townsfolk was called off, replaced by a silent exodus. Anyone who dared to approach the edges of the massive symbol etched into Wailington's earth found their vehicles failing, sometimes with far more sinister results. But Wailington was sizable enough to sustain its remaining inhabitants for a considerable time. There was enough to keep them going, although the looming symbol served as a constant, unsettling reminder. Then, the raccoon attacks began again, but these were no ordinary assaults. The creatures had been transformed, nightmarish mockeries of their former selves. Piles of teeth, fur, and flesh, these things seemed immobile, yet they moved with an unnatural grace, their strength and cunning terrifying. Wailington, however, was a town where gun ownership was common. The townsfolk fought back, a grim, desperate defense against the horrors they faced. Ray and Brody, haunted by their encounter with the Dream Collective, remained silent about the true extent of their ordeal. The strange beings hadn't contacted them again, leaving them and the rest of Wailington feeling utterly alone and vulnerable to whatever might come next. The silence stretched, broken only by gunfire and the unsettling chittering of the monstrous raccoons, a horrifying symphony of fear and despair. One night, under the sickly yellow glow of a street lamp, Brody stumbled upon something that chilled him to the bone. It was a crude drawing of the symbol, scratched into the side of a weathered building. But this wasn't just a copy, it was an evolution, a horrifying mutation of the original. Twisted, gnarled lines wriggled and writhed, and from the center of the altered symbol, something seemed to pulse, a faint, rhythmic throbbing. A strange smell, faintly sweet, and yet sickeningly cloying, wafted from it. As Brody stared, paralyzed with fear, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. It was tall and gaunt, its face hidden by a ragged hood. The figure raised a skeletal hand, and Brody saw that its fingers were tipped not with nails, but with the jagged, blackened teeth of one of the monstrous raccoons. The figure spoke, its voice a rasping whisper that seemed to scrape against Brody's very soul. "They are coming. And they want what you have."